Hi, everybody. Happy new week. We are so glad you're joining us. Meteorologist Aaron White, meteorologist Meredith Garofalo, and we are happy you are here for the 10 TV Weather Impact Show.
Yeah, and it's going to be a great week we got coming up for us. Finally talking about more, summer-like weather. It's June, too, and so it's finally here.
Thank goodness. I don't know about you, but Memorial Weekend when the pools were still closed because it was chilly and gross.
Yeah, the rain, and it's, just finally kicked out of here. We got some decent weather this past weekend, and even today, it's actually nice, despite the hazy skies.
And it was a cool start, so you definitely needed the jacket earlier in the day, but this afternoon, it's looking so much nicer.
Yep, so much better.
I'm actually excited to get to the forecast today.
Yeah, and it's going to be really good, so
get ready for it. It is going to be really good. All right, let's talk about those headlines of what you need to know. We are going to see, as we mentioned, a lot of sunshine in this work week forecast. And the temperatures, we are cranking the dial. They are going up in full force. We're going to see some of the hottest temperatures I believe we've had so far this year. But we're also going to see wildfire smoke from Canada start to come into our sunrises, our sunsets, our sky. So you're going to notice a difference when you see the way the sun looks out there. But also Thursday, even into Friday, we are looking at some rain and storms to return. So our weather impact as we start off this new week is going to be keeping a close eye on that smoke, because we also could see some impacts to air quality as well. So temperatures, again, we're cranking those up, and we're really not going to see any inclement weather again until we get into Thursday. But it'll be very interesting on Thursday, because this week, as we have the humidity building in, as we have the heat cranking up, that could really make some unsettled development, AKA have to watch out for stronger storms to develop. So that's something that's on our radar for sure. But if you are going outside today or Tuesday during those peak daytime heating hours, I do want to remind you it's very important to protect yourself. If you're somebody that works outdoors for long periods of time, maybe after school you're going to take the kids to the playground. Make sure everybody's got the sunscreen, take those breaks in the shade, and lots of water. You have to stay hydrated. Now, if you're like myself and you're hoping to get some golf in this week after being inspired by Scotty Scheffler and all the other guys at the tournament, I can tell you the next couple of days are looking great. I actually booked my tee time for tomorrow. I'm not going to say where because I don't want the other spots to fill up that fast, but it's going to be definitely a good day for golf. Wednesday, the only reason I have good is because it's going to be 90. So if you go earlier in the day when it's cooler, that's great, but it's going to be tough in the afternoon when those temperatures get around 90. You're going to be in that straight sun. Overall, again, I would pick the next couple of days, but you can see how this morning temperatures were in the 60s, afternoon forecast going to be in the upper 70s, and sunny icons repeat. Sunshine is the main weather story as we kick this off. Now, I did mention the wildfire smoke earlier, so let me take you through this. This is tonight. The deeper reds here, these darker reds, that's actually where we have some really thick smoke that's coming through. So you're going to see it eventually starts to push through Columbus. We do get that draw in for Tuesday morning continuing. And then as we move forward and we go into Wednesday, we're going to see this here, but you'll notice there is a brief pocket where we're going to be getting a break, which will give us some relief. And that also is what we see here on the long-range forecast. I would show you the hour by hour the next couple of days, but you're not going to see anything. We're going to have lighter winds, lots of sunshine, but all eyes will be on this next storm system that's affecting us as we go into the second half this week. So this is Wednesday morning. Again, this is far off to our west. Now, the timing could still change, but as of right now, here's 3 o'clock. You can see starting to cross into Ohio. It takes its time, so it actually looks like things may not really start to fire up until late Wednesday, overnight into Thursday. Here's noon. You can see the rain coming through, and then it just kind of hangs out. It stalls and just kind of sits over our area for a little bit. This is 7:30, and then we have more rain and storms in the forecast possible as we go into Friday. Now, this does also look to linger throughout the day today. Again, we're going to really tighten up the forecast in the coming days, but this could be a really soggy end to the week and start to the weekend. Could have those heavier showers at times, could have some rumbles of thunder, so something we'll be watching closely, and in the coming days, we'll have a little tighter forecast on that for you. Then that pushes out of here, and then it does look like we do get a brief break, which is good news for us. But as we look ahead, really warm tomorrow, 85. Like I said, Wednesday, we're going to be right around 90 degrees. And, right now I'm keeping the low 80s for Thursday and Friday. It's all going to depend on the timing of the rain, the clouds, so this could go back down into the 70s, but for right now, we're staying optimistic. Again, we've got those warm winds bringing in that warm air from the south. And then as we head into the weekend, we're actually going to be right around and just slightly above the average high for this time of year in the upper 70s. So overall, aside from Thursday, Friday, and maybe part of Saturday, the first half of the week is definitely when you want to get outdoors and enjoy that beautiful sunshine.
Yeah, just nice to see those nicer temperatures as well. You know, we're talking about
Ooh,
80s
yes.
and close to 90 degrees. Haven't seen that for quite some time. I think the warmest
It's
we've
almost
been
summer.
is 85 so far this
Okay.
year. So we're getting some heat now.
The heat is on.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah,
Name
we're
that-
ready.
Yeah, okay, good. You know that song. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
but
and it's gonna feel like it's in the 90s too at some point on Wednesday. So.
And the humidity, I mean, you can tell my hair is already fluffy. You're good. You're doing
Yeah,
well.
I mean, as it gets a little bit longer, maybe it'll start to get a little bit more poofy, but hey.
If you have curly hair, especially, all of you know what I'm talking about exactly.
Yeah, but we're ready for it. We're ready for some days at the pool, days at the lake, and I know everyone wants to maybe get out the boat, get on the paddleboard, kayaking, all that fun stuff, and it's here.
It really is. It's hard to believe. We got some great other stories here for you. In fact, we do want to talk now about the northern lights that did not want to come out here. They came out west, though.
Yeah, they were out west back Sunday morning or Saturday night into early Sunday morning. We saw this big solar storm that occurred, just a couple of days ago, impacted the earth and didn't really pan out for us here, but it did still happen across some parts of the area. So let's dive in to talk about the northern lights, and really what happens is there's this big burst of solar energy that comes in from the sun and can impact the earth and impacts the magnetic field of the earth, allowing for the northern lights to be visible. And the stronger the energy, the more energy there is coming in, that can lead to the northern lights being seen pretty far south. We had it happen back in 2024 that we saw them here in Ohio, and it could happen again when we get those big solar storms. And that's what actually happened just a couple of days ago. Just the problem was the timing of it. It happened just as the sun was starting to rise here and allowed for us not to really see anything. And the other thing was the hazy skies preventing a lot of the region from seeing any viewing, even for areas further to the north. So we did have that solar storm that arrived early Sunday. Then we got another wave of activity throughout the daytime, but it's daytime, so of course we're not going to be able to see anything. But other parts of the world where it was night, they actually saw the northern lights. And the really thing that it came down to was the timing. Timing was not in our favor this time, but as we are in the peak of the solar cycle, it is possible that we could see some more opportunities to get the northern lights here, even into Ohio. We'll just have to kind of wait for that next big round of solar activity for us to see it. I was really hoping, I know we both were really hoping for seeing it here, and I know the other concern was that haze preventing a little bit of the viewing, but we'll see. We'll be watching it for you, though, if it happens again.
If you really, really are into it, I would go online, search hashtag Aurora, like on X, for example, or Facebook. Our friends to the west, Idaho, Northern California, Oregon. I mean, I have chills. The pictures, the videos, just incredible.
Yeah, just the color. I mean, there's a lot of purples and the greens, of course, and just so beautiful to see that. And yeah, like I said, we just missed it. I was so close.
Next time.
Next time. And right now, actually, I was kind of switching gears into talk about some more active severe weather that happened. Cleanup is now underway in Kentucky after another severe storm.
And the National Weather Service actually confirmed at least one tornado touchdown southwest of Lexington. Now, the storm hit the area Friday, and so far we know at least one person, unfortunately, was killed, and dozens more were injured.
There was actually a child sleeping in the bed when it happened. And so they were not all woke up yet. And so it was very, very traumatic for them.
My heart always breaks for those that are in the path of those dangerous storms. Now, workers from the Weather Service are actually on the ground assessing the damage, but early reports indicate that at least an EF2 tornado was formed. Now, the storm destroyed at least 2 homes and also damaged several other buildings.
And the Atlantic hurricane season is officially started on Sunday, June 1st. The season runs from the 1st of June all the way through November 30th, with a peak of activity typically occurring between mid-August and mid-October. Now, September, historically being the most active month, and NOAA's forecast predicts an above normal number of storms with 13 to 19 named storms. And they are saying that there's potential for 6 to 10 of those strengthening into hurricanes, and 3 to 5 could actually become major hurricanes.
And just to put out there, that does not mean a landfalling storm.
Correct.
So those storms could be out over open waters, never impact us. So we're hoping we have those kind of storms.
Yeah,
this
and there's
season.
many years where we see them just kind of out in the Atlantic and just kind of
Right.
doing their own thing, which is great. But yeah, we'll just be kind of watching how things play out this season, and hopefully maybe it's not as active as they're forecasting.
Our fingers are crossed. Well, now that this is Atlantic hurricane season, there's actually some growing concerns that Federal Emergency Management Agency is, quote, not ready. The comment comes from an internal agency review obtained by CNN. Since the turn of the year, nearly 10% of FEMA's total workforce has left. President Donald Trump criticized the agency for months, and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem has vowed to eliminate it.
President Trump has given us the responsibility of looking at an agency that in the past has been there in times of crisis for many people on their worst day that they've ever experienced, but many times in the past it has failed.
I worry a lot about how thin the situation is and the ability to get information across during what could be a very active season.
That was actually Rick Spinrad, who is the former NOAA administrator. Now, FEMA has reopened training centers to prepare staff for hurricane season and has lengthened contract extensions for part-time workers to deploy those areas during disasters. Wow.
Yeah, really, it's going to be wild kind of seeing how things play out with the hurricane season this year. And one of the factors that is actually going to be going into it, we're going to talk about this a little bit, is some of the dust from the Sahara Desert. It's actually been making its way across the Atlantic, and this is an actual hindrance in overall tropical development, which is a good thing, especially, preventing from hurricanes and even tropical storms from forming out in the Atlantic and then it potentially impacting land. And what we're tracking is a lot of dust. And some of that you see over the United States, that's actually the wildfire smoke, but everything crossing the Atlantic, you can see it all coming in from Africa. That is all dust making its way through. And because it's so dry, it really inhibits any tropical development, tropical storms, and even hurricanes from even strengthening even more as we see this dust really blowing in across the Atlantic Ocean. And it may actually, really continue here for at least some time. And really, as we talk about tropical activity right now, nothing happening in the Atlantic. There's a few showers and storms, but not much. Across the eastern Pacific, a little bit different story. There's already been one system that made its way through last week, and now watching another area just off the southern coast of Mexico that could have some more tropical development here as we go through the next couple of days. So it may start to get a bit more active, but as we talk about the Atlantic hurricane season, as long as that dust continues on, not going to be a problem for at least some time.
Just an example of dust being a good thing to have around.
Yeah, exactly. Other times, maybe not so much.
Well, finally in our show today, always cool watching a rocket take off. And it's not just me. I know Aaron loves this too.
Yeah, this is cool.
SpaceX's Falcon 9 launch on Saturday from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base in California. This is a launch of 27 Starlink satellites that are going to orbit low Earth.
Yeah, so
at low
cool.
Earth. Low Earth orbit.
I was watching this live on Saturday from home, and just like really cool. It's always cool just watching a rocket take off, and then learning about the mission that they have, launching
Right.
27 satellites for Starlink, and some of the other missions that go on. It's always cool. I mean, I could just watch that for.
Have you seen a
just keep it
launch in
going.
person yet?
I have not yet.
Oh, you
I
have
want
to.
to. I just need to plan a time, and I want to plan it maybe around a particular mission. Just I don't know, but it would still be cool to just see a launch in general.
Well, in 2030, we have our next round of GOES, or the GOXO is the new NOAA satellites to replace the GOES. So let's get you on board.
Yeah, you said 2030?
I think, yeah, early
Somewhere in
2030s
okay.
is
All
when
right,
they're looking
all
at
right.
launching
Gotta wait
that
then.
fleet.
Okay.
So yes, get all ready. But before then,
Yeah.
we'll have to get Aaron and all of you out to a launch, hopefully.
Yeah, it'd be really cool, and maybe an earlier one, maybe something here in 2025. We'll see.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed. Well, that is it for your weather update here on 10 TV Plus. Now, coming up later tonight at 6, Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz is in. He'll have all you need to know, but until then, you can catch more news, weather, traffic, everything you need online at 10tv.com. So have a great afternoon.